So if I were to start a restaurant business tomorrow and try to make 10 to 20K profit per month, this is how I will do it. Hey, Jim Cam here, founder, owner, franchiser of multiple brands in Montreal areas, exceeding over 100 locations. Imagine I loses everything today and I'm gonna start opening a new restaurant tomorrow with limiting financing. How should I proceed? I'll tell you exactly the step-by-steps that I will personally do. So firstly, understand that business, there's three facets: your skill set, financing, and also the vision and the concept, which is very important. Firstly, the skill set. I will jump into a restaurant business that I either already have knowledge into it or I can learn very quick based on the experience that I have. So think of both ways: something that you're already very good or something that you can learn quick enough. Easy to explain. I'm very good at sushi. I have basically no experience in making onigiri, but I'm sure I can learn very quick enough because it has been proven with a lot of franchisees that they learn from A to Z within weeks. So key point, keep it simple. Pick something that is simple and also there's a lot of demand. But yes, so if I was to start my own business, my new restaurant business, I'm gonna either do sushi or another concept that is highly in demand and also very easy to learn. But firstly, before picking any concept, you have to think that business, you have to solve as much problem as possible. Not only your own personal problem, but also your customer's problem, your employee's problem, the whole structure of the business problem. If you want to make 10, 20K profit per month, for sure you can open a very fancy restaurant that you can dump $2 million in and just open it. But if you make 20K per month, how long does it take for you to just get back the whole investment? You have to think of it this way. So this is your personal problem. So you have to think the return on investment to come back as quick as possible. And also for your customer problem, what is the current problem right now other than recession and also people cannot afford to eat, which is a very big problem. Think of a concept that is very accessible, affordable, and mainly healthy, tasty. So this will tick a lot of boxes. So there's a lot of problem solved just picking the right concept. Other smaller problem is if depending on the concept you choose, if it requires a smaller place, so the rent will be lower too. So it also fixes another problem. And labor is a big problem in the restaurant business. So if you find a concept that is easy to learn for your staff, problem solved. So that's one pillar. And the second one, financial. My first restaurant, I fronted everything in cash with my own money, with credit cards, everything. I didn't know nothing about business plan and also bank loan. For sure, if I were to start, I will go with a bank loan because it will also lower my initial capital investment. And thirdly, how to know if the concept is working or not. I just look at it in a very simple way. What are the kind of food that you're used to eat every day? You're not gonna see something unfamiliar. So don't go for hypes. Hypes always has a huge pump and also a huge fall. Go for something steady. And the more steady you go, it will look more like a cleaner concept in the long run. Sushi, by example, focuses all natural ingredient, rice, fish, veggies. Very simple, right? Nothing that has been transformed. Same for Poke Station too. Simple ingredient, rice, salads, veggies, fresh fish, shrimps, and also onigiri. So I'll go in that direction. But I think if I were to start, I either do sushi or onigiri. So you want to afford a very good, high quality product for the mass population so they can still enjoy quality food at home. So one of the main points that I'll make sure to keep it simple is the ingredient. So there's, for sure, you have to pick some key ingredient, which is, let's say, pick beef, salmon, tuna, by example. Those are the key ingredients that you will always want to keep it at the quality high and also as fresh as possible. And make the concept very simple around that. So this is only the kind of ingredient list that you will keep on ordering again and again. So you don't have to have all the headaches and hustle to order a huge list of ingredients and try to maintain that fresh. It's almost impossible because the demand is not the same everywhere. So the ingredient will have a huge impact, the whole operation system. And also keeping the operation, from receiving ingredient to preparing to delivering to your customer. This process has to be kept as simple as possible. And not only that, if you have a small location, requires less laboring, working. Also the managing part of your staff will be much simpler too. So key takeaway, keep it simple so you can maximize costs, maximize profits, and just keep everything simple and efficient. This will also make it easier for myself to run the business because time is valuable. So all the time you're not working the business, you can work on the business. So on the promotion side, on the marketing side, and also finding collaboration, catering events, a lot of stuff that can help you bring extra sales to your business. I'll pick a concept that is linked to healthy options. So if I have to pick my concept between sushi or onigiri, today I'll pick onigiri because it's is easier to manage and also highly scalable. So next is the location. So you want to focus on a location. So I'll pick a location that is not on the main street because I want to keep my costs lower and also make it accessible for my main customers, which is the resident, office workers, and also school students. Since I want to focus the concept more on takeout and deliveries. So it doesn't matter if it's a pinpoint on the main street, on some very high traffic areas, or just slightly close to it. But you will save a lot on your fixed cost. So the key point is not on the main street, but make it accessible for people around the main streets. If you found your location, so you know the rent cost and the build-up cost, this is what you will need to build the business plan for the bank. The bank will need to know the numbers in advance. So what is our projection of the sales? What are your marketing strategies? How do you plan to attract new customers? How do you make sure the customer keeps on ordering again? Which I mentioned earlier. You make it affordable, accessible, and delivering just healthy and delicious food. The bank, they want to make sure you can generate those sales consistently. And now it's actually going out to find the right location. So what I'll find, the key point I'll look for is controlling the rent at least below $5,000 per month. Because now with the marketing available online and anywhere, it's very easy to just have to drive traffic to that area. So you can save a lot on the rents and still drive huge traffic. And not only that, I will try to pick a location that has the basic mechanical work done. So this way, I will also keep my construction costs low. What I mean by that is basic plumbing, electrical work that is already into place. If better, previous restaurant that closed down. So in this way, we have a full kitchen pretty much ready for us to use. You might be surprised, it can save you easily $100,000 in construction costs. You found your right location, so what is the next step? It's gonna be negotiating the lease. The term that I like to ask is, for sure, everybody wants some free rent, everybody wants lower rent, but this is the basic stuff. But you want to make sure that the term of the lease is similar as follow. 5 years for the initial lease, and most people will ask 5 plus 5. So after 5 years, you have another option to renew for another 5 years, but I prefer to do 5 plus 3 plus 3. So you ask for 2 renewal. This will, it will protect you, and also the landlord will still see, hey, it's still slightly longer than a 10-year lease. If he's doing good, I'll be happy for them to stay. And for you, it gives you like 2 exit points. So if you want to exit after 5 years, and usually the first 5, it's where you make within the first year. This is where you make break even in the first 2 and generate some good profits after. So for sure, you will still want to renew after the first 5 years, but is it too long to renew for another 5, or it's better to go with 3? You have to see it in this way. Now the next 3 years, it's where you're probably gonna make the most money out of it. And you might be thinking that you might want to change path after 8 years in the business. So it gives you that option. If not, you will have to wait until the 10th year. So now you have the concept, you pick the location, the lease is signed, and you're preparing to complete the business plan for the banking loan. So you will have projection of the sales, how you plan to generate the sales, making sure the sales are recurrent, and the expansion of the business over the years. And after you get the financing ready, construction will start. Also, try why I like a smaller concept, a smaller place concept is construction is much faster compared to opening a very big, over $1 million concept. Construction can take months, even a year. And through the lease, you negotiate for some free rent, so you want to benefit from it. So keep the construction under the time frame you're still in the free rent zone. So the moment you gotta start paying rent, you will be sure to have money coming in at the same time. So now preparing for the grand opening. For sure, if you want your concept to be doing good, you need to be the main operator yourself, because nobody understands the business better than you do. It's impossible to give that task to any employees that you hire out there. So yes, you have to be the operator if you want a very successful run into the business game. And also you want to make money. Yeah, before making passive income, think about making more active income. So work your ass off. Then you will be able to see and also train all the staff you get hired. You will understand who is gonna be the key people inside of the business, who you want to keep, who you want to give opportunity for them to keep moving the ladder up too. Then hiring the staff, training the staff, doing the marketing, hype up the brand, hype up the concept, creating a huge promotion that people they cannot deny, create an offer so irresistible that people will come from far. Those are the points you really need to think and plan ahead. There's a lot of ways to do it. You can collab with high following pages that will boost your visibility, or you do a lot of paid ads, flyer ads, whatever marketing you think will be doing good in the area that you pick. But for me, I'll just do collab posts with with a lot of pages that has a high following, and also influencers, bloggers, UGC. You can do it in that way. I'll do it in that way. So I'll put a huge sum of money into the initial marketing. Be wise and mindful with the marketing spend. I do it in that way because I know my capacity to manage high pressure traffic moments during a restaurant. But for most of you, it's maybe your first time. You probably want to start on a slower side so you can build your clientele up. I prefer now, if I'm gonna start, to just start up there and maintain it, sales, or keep pushing from that level up. But don't do that mistakes. I see a lot of franchisee, even a store operator outside of my portfolio, they hype it up so big so they could not meet the demand of the customers, so it kills the brand. In the beginning, it's a lot of sales, but it just dropped instantly within weeks, and they can never pump it up back. Let's keep in mind, the goal of this video is to open a restaurant that can generate 10 to 20K profit per month. So just be wise with the numbers, just understand the numbers. My concept, what I like, is to keep it, the profit margin between 10 to 25%. In that range. Let's say pick 15% by example. If you run a concept with 15% profit, how much sales you should be generating per month? 60 to 80K if you want to make that amount of money. So at least make sure you can generate that sales first. And then, what are the main costs in the restaurant business? Food cost, labor cost. So is your food cost below the margin that you're setting based on the sales and also the profit that you want to make? Same thing for labor. So keep those two in mind, in check every single day if you can, if not weeks, if not months. Because all the other costs are mainly fixed costs, which is electricity, rent, marketing. You have a fixed budget. So now you understand how to control your food costs and also your labor costs. What if your restaurant is not generating enough sales? How do you boost yourself from there? Imagine if I were to tell you, can you boost your sales by 30% by next week? You say, oh my God, that's probably not possible. If you think of it this way, if you ever ask yourself that question, how can you even generate more sales? You might think more customers, but that's only one way. But there's actually 3 ways to do it. You can generate more customers, you can make the customers buy a little bit more, so increase the ticket of your customers, and also make your customers come back a little bit more often. So now go back to the 30%. If I were to ask you the same question, can you get 10% more customer? Probably yes. Can you make sure your customer orders 10% more every time they come in? I'm sure you can, just by upselling a drink. And can you make your customer come back 10% more often? It is also a yes. So now you already boosted yourself by 30%. But there's more ways to do it too. Since we focus on takeout and deliveries, you can boost your sales by using application like DoorDash and Uber Eats. But for sure, quite good with sales. For me, starting over is not a problem. But for you, you need to understand where you're bad at and why you should get better at sales. There's no secret in the restaurant business. You have peak hours and you have hours during the day that it's less traffic. So what if you give more promotion to those times that are actually less profitable in general? For sure, you don't want to drive more traffic during the peak hours that you cannot even manage yourself. So imagine you give discounts during the happy hours, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. You try to attract more catering clients. So this you can prepare before the actual business hours. So you can just ship it out during that time too. There's a lot of options. There's many ways for you to generate extra revenue for your business. So the key point is you want to maximize the profit out of every hours in the business. Imagine during the peak hours, for sure you might not want to do Uber Eats. You might want to serve your regular customers because those are more profitable than serving on Uber. But turning on your Uber tablets, the application DoorDash during the less busy hours could be it, and also a financial boost for your business. Doing catering options is also a great way to do it. Giving promotion out the traditional eating times is a very good option too. So stick with it. Make sure you can maximize the profit out of every hour of your business operation time. Importing things to driving sales and also profit control. You can do collaboration also with local business. This is a good way to do. You can have products from other stores be placed inside of your own store, so you can just have a percentage out of every sales you do for them. If you're in a traffic areas that is better than them, then you're in the right position. And since you're focusing on takeout and deliveries, that means you're serving a lot of customers at the same time. Imagine just giving a small discount to every customer that you serve. Let's say only 10% of them, they want to try that new product. You will have additional income out of it. There are so many ways to drive extra sales. Just be creative in your own way. Why takeout and deliveries is good? Because there's no downtime. downtime basically. So winter, rain, traffic, doesn't matter. There's no really downtimes. And the great part about a takeout and delivery focused restaurant business is there's almost no downtime. People will always complain about the weather, about the snow, rain, even traffic, or whatever reason they want, right? But since you're doing the delivery, you make it so accessible. So that's why there's no downtime, because there's no more excuse for them not to order from you. So it all sums up on how to have a business that can generate you 10 to 20K per month. Once you reach it, for sure, you will think, hey, why stop here if I can go for more? So how do you go for more? Just repeat the whole process over again in another location. Just redo it. That's how I did it. That's how I will still keep on doing it. That's how I suggest you to do it too. And before you know it, you have probably over 100 locations, generating a lot of profit per month, and just living the life, driving your life. If you're interested in trying to do it in the same way, in a quicker, safer, and also proven way to do it, contact us. We have a lot of brands, a lot of franchise brands. If this is the kind of path you want to take and you're not me, you don't have all the years of experience to start over again in this way, we have great options for you. That's why the franchising game is so big. We have years of experience to back it up. We have multiple locations also to back it up, and the system has been proven through multiple brands. So imagine, instead of you learning everything from scratch, you can learn it in a faster and safer proven way with us. Basically, it's the key example of everything that I just spoke in this video. So just click on the link below and we'll be happy to share more information with you. See you.